Hello, this is Rochelle Agatha, and this is the lecture on math. It's going to serve two purposes for you. One, to just give you a little math update in case you haven't taken math for a while, and also to discuss the order of operation in Excel for math. Now, please keep in mind that currently Accounting 104 does not require accounting as a co-course or a previous prerequisite. So this term, when you're taking Accounting 104, the examples are going to be more basic and not so much totally related to accounting. I try to use more business type examples than specific accounting so as not to lose people who haven't taken accounting. Here is your order of operation, and it goes in this exact order. If there's brackets, they will happen first. If there's exponents, they will happen. Then division, then multiplication, then addition, and then subtraction. So always keep that in mind. If you think your formula didn't work, go back to your order of operation. In Excel, a plus is a plus. It's in two places on your keyboard typically. There's a minus, an asterisk is the multiplication, division is the slash, and the caret is the exponent, and that's usually sitting on top of one of the number keys depending on what type of keyboard you have. So let's go through pretty quick an example. So if you're looking up at my formula bar, you can see multiplication, very simple. 5 plus 6 is 11. People ask me why I have a plus sign and an equals. I learned Excel a long time ago, so I always hit that plus sign. You can open a formula with a plus or an equal. So if I want to do this again, I can press on the equal sign and click on the 5 and then press the plus sign and click on the 6. And it will come up with just the equals. But I'm so old, and I learned Excel a long time ago, that when I press the plus and the plus, it automatically puts the equals in front. So I get questions about that a lot. It's just a habit that I'm in. So remember that you can open a formula with an equal or a plus or a minus. But if you do it with the plus, it's going to stick that equals in front of it. Not a biggie. Subtraction, same thing. If you're subtracting your numbers, I did the 2 minus the 1. Notice the formula colors the box around the cell, which is very helpful in Excel when you're checking your formulas. What I did here was I hit F2 on my Windows PC keyboard. If you're using a Mac, wherever your F2 is, whatever command function you have it set, that's how I did this. So I can see the blue minus the green was my formula. Here I have E6 asterisk F6. Same thing, I'll hit F2. Oops. Sorry, hit the wrong one. Hit F2, and you can see the blue and the green. Division, E7 divided by F7 is going to give me a decimal, and I can make a decimal a percent by clicking on the percent style up above, and then I can add decimal places or subtract decimal places depending on how I want it to be. Exponent, there's my little caret. I did the E8 and exponent F8, so I get that big number right there. Okay, so there's your order of operation. That is how you do it. So let's talk about how order of operation is really important. Notice here I did E4 plus E5, so there's E4 and E5, and then I said divided by F4 plus F5. Okay, I didn't use any brackets. So looking over here, what you're going to see is the division is going to happen first. So E5 is going to get divided by F4, and then it's going to add E4 and F5. That's how it got that. What I really meant to do was I wanted to add E4 and E5 and then divide by the sum of F4 and F5, which I put brackets. So now the brackets happen first, then the division. So note, I get 1. So those are two totally different answers. So when you're using Excel for math and you have hairy formulas, you need to be really careful. You remember the order of operation. Let's just run through another simple example to give you a little bit more. I created just this little item. Pretend these are expense items on your P&L, actual and budget. So I say, okay, my formula is my budget minus my actual gives me my variance. So here I have a positive variance, negative variance, meaning my expense items over, under, over. Okay, so there's my little math. Then I found the percents by taking the variance divided by the budget. So this is really accounting like. So if you haven't taken any accounting, just kind of go with the math, but it's a nice little accounting example. And so once you type that, you can just copy that little formula down. Remember, it's easy to copy. I just hit the little corner and I drag with my mouse, or you can say copy and you can say paste, whichever way you want to do it. So what if I wanted to do all of this in one cell? Well, I'd come over here and I would say I want the let's start from scratch. I want to say the budget minus the actual divided by the budget. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, so then I could do that and I could copy it down. Notice that that is the same. They're the same. I did it all in one fell swoop and I didn't need to show this. So it depends on what you're trying to show a reader and how much effort you want to do. There's the formula all in one. Let's talk about absolute real quick. Remember absolute from my overview lecture. Let's say we wanted to see the variance of, let me hit my F2 so you can see my little formula up here. If I want to know the variance as a division of total variance. So notice here I'm taking my variance and dividing it by the absolute of the total. So I can say that item 1 is a 4% negative variance, item 2 is 43%, item 4 is 36%, etc. And the total of this is 100%, which it should be. Okay, see down here I have my 100%. So if I added up the sum of the variances, it should be 100% because I'm taking each of these as a total, as a piece of the total. So it's just another little update. Okay, so that's basic math. So come over to math assignment. You're going to do several things in here. You're going to type this little spreadsheet that I give you. It's a comparison of cars, the year they were bought, the age, the cost, and what I call the fair market value. I made this up, so please don't hold me to the actual numbers. Say create the spreadsheet, put your name in A3 like you always do, start the column headings in B5, notice this is B5, enter the headings and all the data for the columns across row 5. Then I say the fair market value per cost column is F is the fair market value divided by the cost. So it's F divided by E. So you're going to do that formula in column G. You're going to name the sheet Math 1. Make sure it will print to one page. You guys remember how to do that. So if you're going to highlight what you want to print to one page, and if you have it saved in your toolbar, you're going to set your print area. If you don't, you're going to have to go find it. You're going to hit set your print area. Then you're going to go to your page layout. I'm only going to remind you how to do this one more time. You're going to adjust 100% and click landscape. And then you're going to say print preview. I'm not going to do it because my page has got a lot of stuff on it. But that's how you're going to make sure it prints on one page. You remember what to put in your footers. I'm not going to go over that. Go back and watch the footer example. And go ahead. See, I said set to landscape and then save it. So now it's your first initial, your last name. So mine is Agatha, math. Okay. Math 2 says copy Math 1 and make a Math 2 sheet. So now you have 2 sheets. Add a column H. So you're going to have a new column H. Call it DEPR. And then to get DEPR, you're going to divide the DEPR is going to be the subtraction of the cost minus the fair market value. So that's going to be what's in DEPR. Okay. And then your DEPR age, you're going to have one more column in I, and then you're going to take that and divide it by the original cost. Okay, so make sure that you follow along on those instructions. I notice I have an error in here, so I'll fix that before it goes live. So when you look at Math 2, here's your DEPR, okay? So I show you the formula, and then your DEPR age is your H6 divided by your D6, which is your years, okay? So I'm going to fix that real quick so it looks better. There you go. Okay, so that's kind of what yours is going to look like when you're done for Math 2. Okay, Math 3 has you do something totally different. So start a new spreadsheet and you're going to type this little data set in. And I say start in cell B5, so this will be in B5. and row 12 is where your totals are going to be. So when you're done, it's going to look like this. Okay, this is what you start with. So there's B5, here's row 12. Okay, so you're typing all of this in right here. Then you're going to sum up your sales. You know how to do that. Then I come down and I say, find the sum of the red team sales, then divide by the blue team sales to get the percentage of the red to the blue. Okay, I want you to struggle a little bit with this. I want you to do this all in one cell and stick it in F14. So I'm not going to show you exactly what I did to get that answer. You're going to sum up the red sales. Okay, so here's your red teams. You don't know how to use any functions yet, so just do what you know how to do with basic math in parentheses. You want the sum of the red team sales, and then you want to divide it by the sum of the blue team sales, and you're going to get a percentage. And you're going to put that in F14. Okay? Then you're going to calculate the bonus column, which is going to be this bonus percent times the sales for each person, and I will show you that. So I notice that formula. You're just taking the sales times the bonus. Make sure you got nice little dollar signs. Yours looks really pretty like mine. Get used to formatting because I'm going to start cutting you on points if your formatting looks crummy. Then I want you to use conditional formatting to make team names show up as their team color. This is a very cool feature. You highlight the cells you want. You go into conditional formatting. You create a new rule. And you say, for this, we want red and blue. So I'm going to say format cells that contain equal to, and I'm going to type the word red. Oops, let me use caps here. Then I'm going to say format those cells to have red, and I'm going to make it bold. And say OK. Notice how they turned red. I want you to do that. You would do the same thing for blue. Highlight, conditional formatting, new rule. Cells that contain are equal to blue, and pick a nice bright blue, make it bold, say, oops, I didn't click it very good, make it bold and say, okay. Okay, there you go. I want you to do that. Don't cheat because I'm going to go in and check your rule. It's a cool feature we're going to use later on, so you might as well learn it now. Now I want you to find the percentage bonus of all red team compared to all blue team bonus. That formula should be in cell F16. Okay, so I'm not going to show you how to do that. You should be able to figure it out by looking at this one. Resave the file and submit it on Blackboard. Struggle a little bit with this, figure it out on your own. This is a good time to learn math. Make sure everything looks nice and pretty like mine does. And if you have any questions, send me an email. Thank you.